You know, the way that the GOP, the way Republicans are behaving about COVID is nothing new. They behave this way about everything. Check this out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. You know, I went through this yesterday, I suppose, this whole idea that people are absolutely shocked that the Trump virus strategy is basically herd immunity. And you know, how could they do that? Well, you know, this is what Republicans do when it comes to absolutely everything. Mike Pence in 2000 wrote an article saying smoking doesn't cause cancer. Why? Because Mike Pence was taking money from the tobacco industry. And because Mike Pence is a member of a political party that doesn't believe that the general welfare clause of the U.S. Constitution matters. That it's not the job of the United States government to provide for the general welfare. That's how Mike Pence views the world. That's how all the Republicans view the world. And so, you know, if they're not going to protect us from smoking, which kills 500,000 people a year, if they're not going to protect, you know, if they fought against seatbelt laws back in the early 70s, they've fought against car safety regulations right across the board, right up to right now. You know, Donald Trump blowing up the car emission standards in the federal ones that Obama had put in place, and now he's going after California. The first piece of legislation that Donald Trump signed when he had a Republican Senate and a Republican House, first piece of legislation he signed allowed coal mining companies to dump more poison into our rivers. So the kids downstream are getting mercury poisoning and uranium in their water. It's literally his first act. I mean, this is how insane it is. They don't care. They don't believe that the role of government is to protect its citizens unless it's military. That's it. And they're so enthusiastic about that they will lie us into a war. We've got a couple of ISIS terrorists who are being tried in U.S. courts today. The Justice Department came out this morning and did this whole song and dance about it, and one of the federal prosecutors came out and did the boot-licking, ass-kissing thing that you know, they do around with Donald Trump when they go around the room at the cabinet, you know, meetings. Oh, you know, as Mike Pence says, it's such an honor to be able to serve with such a noble man as Donald Trump. Well, this time it was, you know, I just want to call out Bill Barr, because without his firm leadership, he's a strong man. He doesn't even need Viagra. He's just, you know, I mean, he all but said that, right? That you know, this is the guy, right? It's like, this is where we're at. That the Republican Party is, well, back to the ISIS guys. First of all, the Republicans were saying, you'll recall, during the Obama administration, we can't try these guys in U.S. courts. They're too dangerous. We need to put them in Guantanamo. So we had George Bush and Dick Cheney, who lied us into a war in Iraq. The war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, which was unnecessary, the Taliban had offered to arrest bin Laden and turn him over to us. Bush turned that down. Those two wars created ISIS. ISIS would not have happened, in my opinion, if George W. Bush and Dick Cheney had not lied to the American people to have a war. Because, hey, the Republicans don't want to protect Americans unless it can be done with expensive guns and weapons. Unless defense contractors can make $1 trillion. And kick some of that back to them. You'll recall George Herbert Walker Bush, when he left the White House, became what? The head of the Carlyle Group. What's the Carlyle Group? An investment group that puts money into defense contractors. Now, who's the notable Carlyle Group former executive who is now in our federal government? Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed. No, he's not an economist. He's a Carlyle Group guy. I mean, it's like, so here we've got Republicans who say, yes, we've got to have expensive, so-called defense. But national defense, it only involves killing people in other countries, principally people who are not Caucasian. National defense does not mean protecting the 30 million Americans who are the 20 million Americans who have no health insurance, or the 50 or 60 million Americans who have inadequate health insurance. That's not national defense, defending people from disease. The Trump administration, it's not national defense providing every American with a face mask, as the post office was prepared to do. And the Trump administration says, oh, no, you don't. That's not our job. Our job is not defending Americans. It's not the general welfare. The only way that we defend Americans is by fighting wars that are very, very, very profitable for our big donors. Reducing drug prices so that people aren't dying because they're cutting their pills in half. Oh, that's not national security. That's not our job. Making sure that people don't get ripped off by banks. Oh, no, let's do away with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's just gut it. Let's defund it. Because it's not the job of government to protect citizens from being ripped off by banks like Wells Fargo that just randomly open accounts in your name. It's just nuts. Anyway, I'm going to turn this back over to you in just a second. Not turn it over, but pick up your phone calls right after the break at the bottom of the hour. It's coming up on 28 minutes past the hour. It's the Thom Hartmann Program. Stick around. We'll be right back.